For this lesson in trigonometry, we're going to start to move away from the traditional triangle trigonometry that you've learned over the past couple of years, and we're going to start to move into more of a circular function, geometry that's dealing with the angles as we move our way around a circle. Now, there's a handful of things that you probably need to know from geometry regarding circles, such as the fact that a full circle equals 360 degrees. A semicircle would equal 180 degrees. Now, you'll notice in these lessons there's a lot of new terminology, lots of vocabulary that you need to pick up very quickly. The problems themselves are not necessarily difficult or challenging at first. They're just new and require your attention as far as being comfortable with all the moving parts. So what I hope to accomplish in these videos is just kind of introduce you to all of the new stuff and kind of move you through some of these simpler sample problems that we have written out in the notes for you. So we start by looking at the coordinate plane, and we will measure angles based off of the two rays that we use to create the angle. Now, wherever we start our measurement from, whatever ray we start the angle from will be called our initial side, and the second ray where we stop the measurement will be called our terminal side. Now, in terms of trig, what is usually the protocol is to start the initial side on the positive part of the x-axis, and we call this the standard position. So you can see just by looking at this visual, our initial side tends to be in the standard position, thus creating an angle. And if we want it to be a positive angle, we will actually move counterclockwise, and then wherever we stop is what we call the terminal side. Now, if we were actually wanted to measure an angle going clockwise, so if we went back this way, we would actually be measuring a negative angle. And so the positive angle and the negative angle that would share this terminal side would have to total up to 360 degrees. And so we can find the terminal side either way as far as that's concerned. And so you want to get comfortable with knowing which direction to go to measure positive and negative angles. Now, an angle can be measured all the way around the circle, all the way around to 360 degrees. If it's greater than 360 degrees, what we're implying at that point is that you have made one full rotation around the circle, and then you've started the process again, tacking on extra measurement to the original angle. So if you look at example 1, we ask you to draw a handful of angles, and you can see that 210 is 180 degrees plus another 30 to get the 210, and so the initial side started in the standard position, and then the terminal side is down here in quadrant 3. For part B, we had a negative angle, so we started from the standard position and we went the opposite way, negative 45 degrees. Now, what could happen is we may ask you, what is the angle, the positive angle that meets at negative 45 degrees? And that positive angle would be what we call coterminal with the negative 45 degrees. And what we mean by that is that they are sharing a terminal side. And so the positive angle and this negative angle meet together and share the side and their coterminal angles. So we can also have a coterminal angle when we make more than one rotation. And so you can see here that we have a 510 degree angle goes around once plus another additional 150. So the 150 degree angle and the 510 degree angle are actually coterminal in that regards as well. So some basic terminology that you need to become familiar with, and just some simple problems to work on as far as getting those angles drawn. So we have sample problem number 1. We ask you to draw a 415 degree angle. So go ahead and give that a try. and based off what you've learned here in this first page of notes, and let's take a look at that. Okay, as you can see, coterminal angles are basically 360 degrees times the number of rotations to get the angle. So what we would really want to kind of know is, we know 415 is greater than 360. So I'm going to actually subtract the 360 here, so you can simply go into your calculator. And we can see we have a 55-degree angle that's going to be coterminal with. So we know that it's going to go around once. And then as we continue, we want to get to 55 degrees. Now, if you recall, we know that the axes create 90 degrees, so 55 degrees is going to be somewhere in the middle there. I'm not really looking for you to be extremely precise. I'm not looking for an actual measurement. I'm just looking for an understanding for you to know which quadrant these angles are going to fall in. And so that's quadrant 1, and that's 415 degrees. And of course, the coterminal angle for that is going to be the extra 55 degrees that we went past the x-axis. So that's a quick introduction to the basic parts of measuring angles in a circular fashion. We will continue this discussion with circular measurements in the next set of videos.